Happy Monday, everybody. It's Bitcoin Chris checking in yet again, and I'm back after a nice hiatus. And what we're going to do, of course, jump into the Bitcoin price. It's a beautiful day outside, out by the pool. And we're going to jump into the Bitcoin price, jump into some tweets, of course, and, jump into Coin Glass per use, per use. See what's going on with Bitcoin, guys. I haven't been on in a minute, so we're going to check and see what's going on with the Bitcoin price, the Bitcoin price, the Bitcoin price. But first, make sure you guys go pre-order new book, Bitcoin Dad, fiatdad.com by scanning this QR code or heading over to bitcoindadfiatdad.com. Also, don't forget to check out bit-exit.com. We're going to check that out in just a moment. So let's go ahead and jump right into the Bitcoin prices. The Bitcoin price, the Bitcoin price, the Bitcoin price. So what we're going to do, we're going to jump. First, we're going to start off on the weekly chart. So what's been going on with Bitcoin over the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks? We have been coming down, coming down, coming down. And if you follow Market Cipher, you can see here we did get a red dot, came up a little higher, and then started to move down even more. So, as I mentioned in the previous video, I choose some fibs here from the low to the high. If we do that again, let's see what we're looking at. 51,000 is the 382. 618 is 37,000. Don't think we'll come down that low. But 50,000 is a target that a lot of people have been looking at. So if you love Bitcoin at 70,000, you'll love it even more on a discount and on sale at 51,000. I don't think we'll come down that low, but we shall see. We may come down that low, guys, because looking pretty bearish right now based on the TA. All right, so keep in mind that on the 30th, Hong Kong launches their ETFs as well, so they'll be buying as well. But we shall see. We shall see how this plays out. So that's the weekly time frame. Let's jump to the daily. Daily, we do have Market Cipher. Looks like we are headed down. Money flow looks like it's coming down into the zero. But as you can see here, we did dip down here. What happened here? Let me mark this. What happened around this area, guys, on the chart so we can see? Well, the momentum is lower, so we can't really use this, but as far as money flow, we're looking at the money flow. So money flow is super thick here. Then we came down, came back up, headed down. So let's see what this is looking like. So even though this dipped down, again, the momentum waves are higher versus our momentum waves going down lower here. So again, this isn't looking too good at the current moment. As you can see, our resistance level is up here at the 70 mark. Did anybody update their trading view or refresh their trading view and then now all this stuff is there? Because I don't even know how this is even here. What is all this? This was never here before, and now it's here. All right, anyways, let's go down to the 4-hour time frame. But this is still looking like a flag. We can still call this a flag. Looking like a flag here still, so maybe we bounce around. Come down, retest one more time, and then head higher. We shall see how this plays out. But since the momentum waves looks like they're headed down lower, this could be a bullish divergence as well. So maybe we do something like this. and start to head higher. But we shall see. But if this money flow goes red, then that's not good, because whenever money flow goes red, as you guys can see here, that's when we have some dips. But even though we went into the money flow here, we did go from 31,000 down to 24. Okay, so we did have a significant dip. Let's look at the percentage on that high to this low. That's the 22% dip here from the high to the low back in July of 2023, when we saw the money flow turn from green to red, or in this case, blue to purple. So keep this in mind. If we did another 23% correction, that would be crazy. But, I think I already did this in the previous video. But let's see where we are at now. And if we did a 10, 20, and 30% correction. So 10 would be here, 54. 20% would be around 50,000. And 30% would be 42. But let's take this up from the highs, right? Because we would be counting from the highs. 30% would be 50,000. So it makes sense. I think I've already gone over that in the previous video. 10% would be, or 20% would be 57. And then we have 10%, which we've already passed, 65. All right, so that is the daily chart. Let's go to the 4-hour. Zoom in a little bit more. Again, still looking at this flag. I have an alert set here, and let me set another alert if we break down below this low. All right, so it looks like the lows is the lows are 59,378. So if we break that, guys, again, we're gonna head much lower. Again, looking at a $50,000 Bitcoin, because that is the next level of support, which you can see here, of consolidation. So hopefully we can get that discount, because if you are wise enough to know, you should be happy when Bitcoin is on sale, and you should be sad when Bitcoin goes up, because Bitcoin will be much more expensive in your pieces of paper that we're using to buy the most hardest asset on planet Earth. 4-hour, we do have a green dot here, so this is looking really good as far as momentum to come up higher. I would shoot for, if you guys are trading, I would shoot for maybe do a double bottom here, come down a little bit more, boom, and then head higher. Or this could be your bullish divergence here, boom, boom, and then head higher. We shall see. Target would be the highs, which is here, local highs 67,000, which would be a 6%. If you're doing 20x leverage, 20 times 6, 20, 40, 60, or 7%, just round up. Let's just do 6%, 20, 40, 60, 81, 120% on this 6% move. If that is a trade you are looking to do, I would do maybe something like this, right? I would take my fibs, I would take the highs to the lows. Boom. All right, cool. Oh, look at that. Maybe shoot for this high. And that would be a that'll be at 9%, 9 times 20, 20x. Do the math. That's how much you guys could possibly make, whatever it is that you're trading with, as an option. Not sure if this is going to play out again. This could fail and we could come down lower, but that is an opportunity and an option that I possibly see happening. Come down a little bit closer on the hourly chart. We are looking at the hourly charts, and based on the hourly time frame, we're looking good. Money flow has been red, as you can see here. As soon as money flow That's why I tell you guys I love Market Cipher, because it definitely does help with trading. As you can see here, as soon as we went into the red money flow, we came down. So we came all the way down, and then you can see the resistance line here. 1, 2, 3, came down, came down, came down. So 1, 2, 3, and now we're probably gonna head much higher. Excuse me, which is why I said this is a possible good entry for a long. Let's take the top to the bottom. All right, cool. So yeah, take a screenshot, and hopefully we can head higher. 618 would be the first target. Second target, 1.27 at 68,000. So we'll see how that plays out. Now, I did share on my Twitter that I was looking at cocoa, right? And I was shorting cocoa. I'm still in a cocoa short, so this is playing out pretty good. The reason why I shorted cocoa is because, again, this red line came up, which is a resistance line, and they just been. Let me go on the weekly. This has been pumping for so many weeks. Look at this. This is since September. Since September of 2022, cocoa has been up. Oh my God, this is crazy. 100%. So, as you guys can see, these are the targets that I'm looking at. So I have these set, but let me put an alert here. I don't think I have these alerts set. All right, so these are my targets. Maybe we can bounce. Maybe we'll bounce here at the 0.3382 and then head higher. But all commodities looks like they're going to head higher. And then Tesla was another one that I just shared on my Twitter as well. Tesla looks like it's ready to finally head higher. All right, was it the daily? Yeah, Tesla looks good. Short term, I'm expecting us to hit this resistance here before maybe pulling back a little bit and then heading higher. Let's do some fibs. 216, 301 are the targets. 60%, another 15%. All right, so be on the lookout for these targets for Tesla and cocoa and Bitcoin. So with that being said, let's jump into CoinGlass. CoinGlass. And the first thing we like to always check on CoinGlass is the liquidation. So let's see how many people got clapped up in the last 24 hours, and they are all longs. All right, so in the past 24 hours, 61,169 traders liquidated, comes in at $140 million in longs, all liquidated in the last 24 hours. Crazy. Largest liquidation happened on OKX Ethereum, and they lost $2.86 million trading Ethereum. So I tell you guys, be careful if you do trade. And that's in an hour. That was in the hour. Okay, 24 hours. It is still longs. So 30 million on Bitcoin in the last 24 hours, 30 million on ETH. And longs are just getting clapped right now. So be careful. All right, so we're gonna jump into CoinGlass. We're gonna jump back into CoinGlass, and we're gonna jump on the Twitter here in just a second and check out some news. And let's see what's going on with the liquidation map.
What are you talking about?
All right, so I always share this liquidation map with you guys. every couple days because it always changes. But right now we're looking at excuse me, we're looking at $8.87 billion in shorts liquidated at $71,000. Excuse me, dollar Bitcoin. So almost 9 billion in shorts waiting to get clapped up if we shoot up to 71,000. So hopefully we'll head up higher, which kind of correlates with the TA I just gave. 68. Okay, so a little bit off. All right. Well, you guys get the point. The higher we go, the more shorts will get clapped. Look at the longs here. We have 2.73 billion at $55,000 Bitcoin. So we could still head lower, as I mentioned as well. And cascading, liquidations could send Bitcoin much lower than 55,000. And the same goes for the longs on the opposite side. So, cascading shorts could send Bitcoin much higher than $71,000 or 68,000. Because once we start getting higher, right? Once we start getting to the $68,000 level here, as you can see here, that's still 5.5, almost $6 billion in shorts liquidated. So once these people start getting liquidated, it can start to squeeze up, and that's how you get, that crazy price uh, action, and also, probably those wicks of liquidations as well. So that's in the past 30 days, and that's with all the exchanges or cumulative exchanges that they have on file or on that data on so far. So we'll see how this plays out. That's excellent to see. Let's use the liquidation map that I like to use, which is the heat map as well. I'm going to go to symbol. I'm going to go to the last 30 days. And we can see that visually here on this chart as well. May I have some more?
Absolutely.
All right, guys. So as you can see here, we got some long or shorts liquidation at at 67,000, which is 2.1 billion, which is what I just said, about 67,000, 68,000. So that would be possibly the next level to go to. Maybe wick down here, knock out some of these longs down here, and then head higher. To be honest with you, I think we head higher because there's just much more. Max pain is much higher, not lower. But because Hong Kong, I think they have a lot of whales manipulating the market because I think they'll try to, send the price lower so not only BlackRock can buy more at a discount, but the Hong Kong ETFs as well, so they can also stack up on some cheap Bitcoin, guys. So keep that in mind. This is just the liquidation map that you guys can see as well, and that's in the last 30 days. Let's look at the last 3 months just to compare some data. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button. If you're watching on X, hit that like for me as well. All right, so this is actually a better outlook on this as well. And this is looking at over the last 3 months where your liquidations will be. So looking at this, we have a ton of liquidations down here at 50,000, 6 billion, and then we have 6 billion as well at 74,000. So let me know what you guys think. You guys think we had higher, slap up and clap up all the shorts, or do we have lower and clap up all the longs, or do we do a little bit of both? Right? Maybe come down, come up, come down, come up. We shall see. We shall see. But either way, Bitcoin is the most scarce asset on planet Earth, so the price is irrelevant because you are actually measuring Bitcoin in pieces of paper, right? When you come down and think about it, and when you think of it that way, it's absolutely ridiculous. I just shared a video on Twitter, which we're going to go over here in just a second, with Jeff Booth talking about the same exact thing. We're actually measuring Bitcoin in pieces of paper, and when you think about it that way, it really brings things into perspective for you. So right now, Bitcoin's at 62,000, almost 63,000. So we'll see how that goes. So now let's jump into some tweets. Now that we're done. Well, actually, we got one more stat to look at. Bitcoin on exchanges before we jump into the tweets. All right. Wow. Whoa. When did this happen? Oh, that's February. Whoa.
Mm.
Thank you.
Something.
It's so good. Thank you.
Mhm.
Watermelon juice. Did you get some watermelon juice? All right, cool. So, Bitcoin on exchanges. We had a lot of Bitcoins come off at the beginning of the year, and ever since then, we've been headed down, 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 and it's not looking like we're gonna change the trajectory, right? It's not looking like we're gonna change the trajectory at all. And these are all the exchanges. So, you know, take this information and do what you will. But please understand, if you have your Bitcoin on exchanges, it's not your Bitcoin. And you shouldn't have your Bitcoin on exchanges in the first place unless you are planning to sell for fiat, which is, you know, whatever your prerogative is, right? But you should, if you buy Bitcoin and you have, Bitcoin on exchanges, you should definitely take it off as soon as possible, guys. All right, so here we are. It is April already. How is it already April? Who knows? Time is an illusion, but here we are already in April, and Bitcoin on exchanges are leaving faster and faster and faster. So, with that being said, let's jump into the tweets, and then we're going to wrap it up here. Before we do that, make sure you guys head over to bit-exit.com. We are still planning on having this party in July here in Orlando, Florida, where you guys can come and hang out with Bitcoiners and just chill. Premium Bitcoin party for Bitcoiners by Bitcoiners. So make sure you guys come out. We're going to be giving away Bitcoin. We're going to have a cook-off. We're going to have DJ. We're going to have bowling. We're going to have pool day. So, we're going to have tons of activities, free food, um, drinks if you drink, all that good stuff, and merch. So you guys be guest speakers, Armando, Camilla, uh, Bitcoin Zay. We have a couple more speakers to be announced as we head towards the event in July. We still have April, May, June, July. We still got 3 months away. So make sure you guys come check out Bit Exit. All right, and let's continue. All right, so there goes that short I was telling you guys about. Morgan Stanley has submitted a filing to the SEC to include Bitcoin ETF exposure in 12 of its funds. This will soon be offered through their network of over 15,000 brokers. So, more inflow, more demand for Bitcoin, just as the Bitcoin halving happened. And that means less supply of Bitcoin. Simple supply and demand. You guys know what happens next. These are all old tweets that were just retweeted. If you're pricing Bitcoin in dollars, you just don't get it. I just talked about how you're pricing Bitcoin in pieces of paper. Jeff Booth is really dope. Make sure you guys go check out this keynote. All right, let's get to the news. Get to the news. Some people may hate Andrew Tate, but he keeps it real, and people always have something to say, and you're not gonna agree with everything that Andrew Tate says because I don't. but he does keep it real, and Bitcoin, there is no other option. Game over. Most of the smartest people in the world understand what's going on, and if you don't understand what's going on with your money, um, you know, Jeff Booth here in this video talks about real estate um, being repriced in Bitcoin. Please watch this video. Very, very good insight here. I'll retweet that for you guys in just a second. But the game is over. Even Max Kaiser responded to that. Make sure you check out Peter. He drops dope videos daily. All right, so TikTok. Apparently, he is not going to sell his shares, and that's going to lead to a ban in the United States. I'm curious to see what happens in the future. Uh, but if he's going to stand on business, he's not going to sell. Then they're going to shut down TikTok, which I think it's more than just what they're saying. I think it's not about I mean, they already have our data, right? China has our data, Amazon has our data, Facebook has our data, Twitter has our data. All these Instagram has our data, which is the same as Facebook. All these tech companies have our data already. So I don't think it's really about the data, even though the algorithm for TikTok is much different in China versus here in the United States, which I agree, which I know is very detrimental to the youth. Uh, Being that they're watching stupid stuff, right? They're watching and promoting stupid stuff on TikTok versus educational things and things that's going to benefit them over in China. So that's the reality of it. But I think the reason why they want to ban TikTok is because of the truth that gets out and how fast that information gets out. So again, I think they're going to shut down in America as well. And I'm curious to see how the younger generation reacts to this as well, especially since he said he's not going to, you know, sell his shares. So we'll see how that plays out. They print more money, causing inflation, so you have to buy assets. Then they put a capital gains tax on those assets, so you can never escape inflation. That is absolutely right. A ship crashed into a bridge, never happened before, and I'm not going to jump into that. We should already know what time it is. Uh, Tucker Carlson interviewed Putin. Karens and Darren's lost their mind. We have people setting themselves on fire, and people just don't care. They care for a day or two, and then on to the next thing. Desensitizes the world that we live in. It seems like it seems like there's just so much going on that we forget about a lot of important things, such as this, right? So, with that being said, let's continue. It seems like everything happens and we forget. There's so many things happening and things happen so fast that we forget. We forget. So, another example of that is this. Another things that people forget is this. Underground tunnels in Brooklyn. Yeah, I'm not going to touch too much on that. Here we go. This is how easy it is to move to El Salvador. You don't need to claim asylum. To sell everything, convert it to Bitcoin. You have $12 ready in a Lightning Network to pay for a 6 month tourist visit visa upon landing, and then apply for residency. That's simple. This is something that I've been considering more and more lately because of, I mean, if you guys have been following me for any time, any longer amount of time besides this year, maybe if you guys haven't been, my stance on this is that I've always wanted to, even back in the day, right? I predicted a lot of the stuff in the past, especially on Clubhouse back in 2020, 2021. I could see the deterioration of our society. Even back, I have tweets from 2020, from 2011, which I shared recently because I like I say certain words and I search those words, and it's funny to see these things happen over 10, like 10 over the course of 10 years, right? So my stance on America is Rome, um, and America is a deteriorating society based on all the information and all the data that I've been seeing over the past years of life, right? And this is not anything new. I think a lot of people would tend to agree, and people that don't agree with that are kind of delusional, in my opinion. So my stance is that I've always wanted to relocate out of the country sooner than later because I can see the path that we're heading down. Just to highlight a few crazy things that happen in our country. I don't have to highlight any of them. We all see them every day, right? Thrown in our faces on the news. I don't watch the news, but on Twitter and also on the news. We have New York. It's crazy. Um, you know, we have California doing crazy things. Those are the two main, crazy states in the United States, not including any of the other states. But you just see so much deterioration of society in those states and Philadelphia as well. And you know, I'm sure other states have major issues that they don't cover, or we don't get as much information on. But it starts from the inside. We have the border crisis. We have taxes out of the wazoo, right? Out the It's getting ridiculous, right? We have a tyrannical government that tries to, govern and have a say in everything that we do, but we're the land of the free. Apparently, we're not. Um, there's just so many things, guys, that I don't agree with as an American. So I've always had the stance of, I want to get out the country. I love this country, and America's an idea, such as Max Kaiser states, and it's not really where you are; it's really the idea. So yeah, with that being said, I have children and I don't want them growing up in this crazy society. School's a scam. I already told you guys that I think school is a scam and college is a scam, depending on what you're going to college for. Um, and a lot of people go to school and they go to college, they get in debt, and then the whole trap, right? So that worked for the generations before we had crazy inflation. That worked for you know our grandparents when you could work one job and take care of the family, right? It was much different back in the day. But nowadays, it's a much different America. And unfortunately, I don't see it getting better, which is why I've always said that I wanted to move out of the country. And I love Mexico, right? Because our dollar goes so much farther there. But, it doesn't matter really where you go. I think it's just as long as you get out of the echo chamber of the United States that you'll be in a much better stress-free environment, and you can actually you can actually think better. You don't got to worry about so many bills, or just all the crap that we have to like deal with. It's we live in a very dangerous country where we have the right to bear arms, but there's crazy people as well that have the same rights, right? And they'll get in a fight with their wife or their ex girlfriend, and then they'll go shoot up the place. Or if they don't like you because of your skin color, they'll come and shoot. Like there's just so many crazy things, and of course, there's crazy things that happens all over the globe. But it's more prevalent in the United States. We have the highest people. The highest amount of people in jail, incarcerated in the land of the free. There's just so many different things. We have these corrupt politicians that really don't care about us. Uh, countless things that I think that need to be eradicated. And there's nothing that we can do, in my opinion, except for opting out and buying Bitcoin and relocating. So, with that being said, I digress. I've always wanted to, relocate out of the country. Years ago, I've stated this. publicly. I think America is Rome. I think we're going down the drain. Some people would, argue the opposite and that we will change, but I don't see us changing. I see us getting more and more tyrannical in the future, and I refuse to be a part of that. I would rather just opt out. So, with that being said, it's a great opportunity to relocate to El Salvador, and this is a dope. Uh, this is dope to have something so easy available to us, right? And this is exactly what I'm contemplating now, uh, because there's so many people that live in other countries that have way less than us, that are way happier, and they have a fulfilling life. And once you're on the Bitcoin standard, a lot of things that we used to care about really don't matter in life, right? So with that being said, let's continue because my battery is dying on my phone. New music on the way. It's called Cullinan. Make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Let's see. Bitcoin is the only way, of course. Oh, somebody was beating up a chicken. They took it down. Soft, man. You go too soft nowadays. Oh, what did I just say earlier? When AI takes over, they will know everything about you because the U.S. government mass surveillance stole all your data. Of course, they have all your emails, all your text messages, all your photos on your device, all your browsing history, all your movements via location, and you know, uh, I digress. I said that earlier. DXY, hopefully that continued to head down. I didn't check that. Uh, Good for nothing blockchains. We've always said this. This is why Bitcoin maximalists are hated because when you do the research and you understand why these blockchains don't do they're good for nothing blockchains. You don't need a blockchain for any of this stuff, right? But here we are. It's really just to make money, and if you understand it's an opportunity for you to make money, then that kind of makes sense. But you don't really need a blockchain for any of these things. And if you do have blockchain, it's a good for nothing blockchain. The only blockchain that matters is Bitcoin. Um, so yeah, they print money out of thin air. Soon it will be digital. So you thought this was a lot of money that they print. They'll be able to digitally print more heading into the future. All right, let's see. I grew up on F. I grew up on. I grew up in the time of Nintendo. Then we had a Super Nintendo. Sega I had PlayStation. I was fortunate enough to have the Dreamcast. I had the Nintendo 64. I had an Xbox. I had PlayStation. I didn't have GameCube. I didn't like the GameCube. I had Xbox 360. I didn't have a PS1, but I love the PS1. I had a Wii U. Oh my God! Anytime I see the Wii U, I think about Bitcoin or shit.com, and where you could have bought Bitcoin instead of the Wii U, and you would have millions of dollars in Bitcoin. My son has this, but I don't know. He doesn't play it anymore. Uh, Xbox One, all that good stuff. I grew up in a great era. Millennials. All right, I think that's gonna be it for today's video because there's a lot of tweets because I haven't been on here sharing with you guys too much. But yeah, America is wrong. All right, guys. So, all right. With that being said, that's gonna be it for today's video. I am happy to be back and making some more videos for you guys as we continue to stack our Bitcoin and chill, understanding the difference between fiat and hard money, enjoying life, selling everything and moving to El Salvador, enjoying watermelon juice, right? and just enjoying what's important in life, guys. So make sure you guys head over to bitcoin.fiat.com, scan this QR code, come party with us in Orlando at bitexit.com. Head over to swanbitcoin.com/Bitcoin Chris, where you can also get $10 free Bitcoin and get you know, get DCA your Bitcoin, and also you get zero fees for up to $10,000. So make sure you guys head over to swanbitcoin.com/Bitcoin Chris. 10K, you get no fees on your first $10,000 purchases. So download the app, stack your Bitcoin and chill, DCA, and join the revolution. Right? Hit that like, share, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. This is Bitcoin Chris checking out. God loves you. I love you. Peace. Oh, and for you guys that um, I said I was gonna give you guys some, I said I was gonna pick the winner. My laptop just died. So I said I was gonna pick the winner for the subscribers for the um, I said I'm gonna give you guys some satoshis for the subscribers. So I grab my other phone. Give me 1 second. All right. Messy, messy, messy. All right, cool. So let me go to the subscribers. Subscribers. How do you even look at the subscribers on here? If you guys watched the other video, I said if you just leave your address in the comment section, you can get the. I can't see my subscribers on here. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, so what I want you guys to do, if you're watching this on YouTube, or if you're watching this on X, head over to YouTube, hit the subscribe button. So I owe some sats for the month of March, and then I'm gonna owe some sats for the month of April. So what I want you guys to do is leave your subscribe and leave your wallet address in the comments, so I can send you some Bitcoin for subscribing to the YouTube channel. If you don't do so, you can't win. All right. With that being said, Bitcoin Chris checking out, and I hope you guys have a great day, because I am. See you guys in the next video.